Welcome! My wife wanted to upgrade our master bathroom faucets to a high arc spout to give us more room for washing. She also chose a bold matte black finish that really adds a clean modern look. But in this video, I want to show you a common drain problem you might be dealing with too. Mowing includes brand new lift and pivot rod assemblies, but because the pivot rod sits inside the drain body, to raise and lower the plug, it creates a small issue that eventually needs attention. As hair goes down the drain, it catches on the pivot rod. Over time, that hair starts collecting soap scum and everything else going down the drain, and before you know it, the whole thing starts to clog. I can't even count how many times I've had to clean these out over the years. So if you've run into the same problem, taking apart the pivot rod assembly and removing the P-trap to clear a clog, I'm going to show you two alternatives in this video, and one of them completely eliminates the problem. Because this area can get pretty nasty, I'm getting tired of having to tear apart the waste assembly just to deal with it. Take a look how easily hair gets wrapped around the lift rod, and what it's supposed to look like once everything is cleaned out to allow water to drain properly. Now I'm going to show you a different option and my favorite one to consider. This is an all-metal bathroom sink pop-up drain stopper with a built-in strainer basket. I'll walk you through the installation and all the steps to show you exactly how it works so you can decide if it's the right solution for your sink. Let's go! Here's a quick unboxing. I purchased these myself on Amazon. They are from KES, an all-metal bathroom sink pop-up drain stopper with a strainer basket. If you're interested in these, I'll put an Amazon affiliate link in the description below. Now they include this replacement gasket if yours is old for the slip nut. Of course, installation instructions you should read through before you start your project, but we will go through every step together in this video. Some Teflon tape, but I'll show you the one I use that's a better quality, and of course the all-metal drain body, gasket, with a nice large what they call a lock nut, the pop-up drain stopper with a built-in strainer basket. Let's go install it. I start putting down a flat tray, then a bucket to catch the water from the trap. Okay, the P-trap nut should only be hand tight. Use channel lock pliers if not, and unscrew the nuts. The water that sits in the P-trap keeps sewer gases from coming up the sink drain and smelling up your bathroom. Now you're gonna see everything is clean and new because I just installed this faucet, and I will link that video in the description and at the end of this video if you're interested. Now if you start smelling sewer gases, you can stuff a towel in the waste arm. Okay, next I loosen the bolt on the lift rod strap to the lift rod. This is not on too tight, so it only takes a few turns to loosen, and then you can loosen it a little bit more by hand. Then you squeeze together the pivot rod clip, which allows you to slide the lift rod strap off the pivot rod. Then I pull it down, removing it from the lift rod, finally removing the clip from the end of the pivot rod. Let's remove the pivot rod from the drain body next. Now this pivot rod nut should only be on hand tight, and you just unscrew it off. And now with the pivot rod out of our way, we can work on removing the drain body. I use my channel lock pliers to loosen the drain nut, allowing me to unscrew it the rest of the way by hand. Then I pull down the drain gasket, separating it from the sink's bottom drain hole. Okay, to remove the drain body, I use one hand to hold the waste seat in the sink and the other to unscrew the drain body from it. And like I mentioned, this is clean and easy because I just installed it. Then pulling it down and removing the plug. All that's left is pulling the waste seat up, which is sitting on freshly applied plumber's putty. You will find your plumber's putty all dried up or silicone that will need scraping and a vigorous cleanup. Okay, my favorite thing to use for any cleanup are baby wipes. I use them all the time during my DIYing, but you can just use a damp towel if you prefer. Just make sure you get it all cleaned up. For the original removal and cleanup, I poured water with a bucket below to make sure it's clean. But because this was just freshly installed, that was unnecessary and the baby wipes worked great. Take a look how clean, even the inside of the drain hole. This is the way you want it for a leak-free install. Now this is much simpler to install than the one with the pivot rod. I unscrew the lock nut, slip down the washer, which is a little tricky, but just work it past the threads. Then I remove the bottom gasket. Now you can install it with the upper gasket without having to use plumber's putty, but I find it sits higher that way, not allowing some water to completely drain. I personally always use plumber's putty, unless the directions instruct to use only silicone sealant. It's a little flimsy, and these directions even instruct you to throw it away and use plumber's putty if you experience a leak. So that should tell you something. Okay, I'm going to show you next my tips how to install this to ensure you don't have any leaks. Now I like to use fast tape by Odie. You don't need to wrap your threads as many times, and you can find it in the plumbing aisle at Home Depot. Watch how and where I use it. So I like to wrap this right where the gasket meets the bottom of the sink. This will prevent any water from escaping through the threads. Don't skip this step. It's not in the directions. Let me know if you have any tips in the comments. You want your tape to line up with the gasket. Dry fit yours to determine where to apply because every sink size and bowl is different. Okay, with the plumber's putty, I scoop out what I think I need and I roll it up into a ball until it's soft and malleable. It can be stiff when cold. And then I roll it on the counter to make a long and as even as possible rope. Then you just wrap your rope right under the flange and pinch off the excess. A little too much is better than a little too little. It will just squeeze out. Then I like to use my thumb to even it out and shape it. Okay, I put away the excess putty I pinched off. Now let's install it. Now it doesn't matter which way it's positioned. There's a channel that runs within the sink drain hole, so water from the overflow will go through that and in the hole of the drain body. So just insert it in the sink drain hole in any position. Just don't spin it. I like to give it a pull straight down to start to seat it and allow the putty to hold it there. You can see it oozing out in a complete circle, which indicates that you have used enough and that it created a continuous watertight seal. Here's a shot how you want to see your tape position. If you have it like this, you won't experience a leak. Okay, I next install the gasket with the bevel side up. Just push it up as high as you can with one hand while you're holding it down in the sink with your other hand. Next, you slip on the washer first, then the lock nut. The washer allows the nut not to bind and spin the gasket as it's tightened. Because this drain body is all metal, the nut spins on smoothly compared to plastic. So watch how I tighten the nut with one hand as I pull down on the tailpiece of the drain body with the other hand. Here's a shot of the putty squeezing out around the whole circumference. I'm also not allowing the drain body to spin because if it does too much, it could cause the plumber's putty to lose its seal. Okay, I have it as tight as I can get it by hand. My plumber's putty's looking good. Now let me show you how to tighten the nut the rest of the way with channel lock pliers. Now this gasket is more compressible than the one that comes with the faucet, so after giving it a few turns, I wiggle the drain body to determine if I need to keep tightening. Let me show you a close-up. See how it's still loose? Needs more turns. So I give it more turns, continuing to hold the drain body as I turn, and you don't want to crank it down too tight. You don't want to warp the gasket. But like I mentioned, this gasket is compressing down much more than the one we removed that came with the faucet. I give it another wiggle, and if I see it move like this, I know I need to give it another turn. So I hold the drain body tight and give it one more turn and it feels tight now. Okay, now that you're seeing this installed, see how the tape we added here prevents the water from running through the threads? Okay, next we need to wipe away the excess plumber's putty. I use my finger and get most of it and put the excess back in the container. Then I use a baby wipe to clean anything else left behind. I use my fingernails, also using my nail pressing on the wipe to get it really tight to the drain flange. Baby wipes are also great for wiping silicone if you went that route. Now consider replacing your P-trap and or washers during a faucet replacement. Bathroom sinks most likely will be 1 1/4 inches. Mine were still in good condition. This is a flashback how I originally cleaned them up. The easiest way is to bring them outside and use the hose. The hose has a lot more pressure than a utility sink, and you really wouldn't want to use your kitchen sink. The stuff coming out is too nasty for that. Outside is the way to go. Now be careful shooting water in the J-bend. You don't want it to shoot back at you, so point it away from you. Also remember, this doesn't have to look perfectly clean. You're just giving it a good rinse. Okay, let's go install all this. If you enjoy home DIY projects like this and want to see more videos like it, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more. Okay, the slip nut goes first, then the washer with the bevel side facing down. Just slide it up the tailpiece of the drain body and leave it there. Now if you stuffed anything in the waste arm, now's the time to pull it out. Next is the extension pipe. This wider part goes over the drain body, and I have the slip nut and washer still pre-installed after removal. And I'm starting the nut on the drain body tail just to hold it there. And then I slide up the extension because I need it a little higher. And then this wider part of the J-bend goes over the end of the extension pipe, and then I tighten the nut on the waste arm. Because it doesn't have a washer, it has to be seated perfectly or it will leak. So I like to do the final tightening, working my way up from the waste arm nut to the top of the J-bend next, to the extension pipe. Everything just hand tight. Then give them all one final check, working your way down, then back up. Again, always just hand tight. Okay, let's go test for leaks next. I remove my tray because it will be easier to see the drips without it. Alright, here we go. I turn on both the hot and cold water, then inspect all the waste pipes, the gasket seal beneath the sink bowl. I also take a look to see if any water is filling up above the slip nut. So far everything looks good. Don't skip this step, you'll regret it. I also like checking the bottom of the vanity for any leaks. Even a small leak can damage anything stored underneath and the vanity itself. Now that our initial inspection looks good, let's move on to the next stage of testing. I want to fill up the sink and check the overflow drain next. I reinstall the pop-up drain stopper, push it down, and it works and the sink starts filling. As you can see, it will hold water. This takes a little while. Let me speed it up. Now don't skip this step because it's possible not to have a leak when the water drains normally, but leaks when it drains through the overflow hole/inlet. Now this is the overflow channel and it feeds into the drain body. And as the water is draining through the overflow, you want to make sure it's not leaking at the drain gasket. And I continue to look at the bottom of the vanity for any drips and I don't see any. If you see water leaking between the gasket and the sink, tighten the nut another turn or two, but we're looking good. I think this is a good time to mention that if your sink doesn't have an overflow inlet, they do sell one without the overflow hole in the drain body, and of course in different finishes and colors, so choose wisely. Now if you fill your sink with water and use it to rinse things like a shaver, this pop-up drain stopper might not be ideal, since you have to reach in the water to drain it. If that's the case, the lift rod might still be a better option, and I'll show you in a minute an alternative tweak. But my wife and I never fill our sinks like that, so this pop-up drain stopper works great for us. Now this is another test. Water draining from a full sink is different than draining from an empty sink. The rush of the water from a full sink can reveal a leak. The bottom of the vanity still has no drips. Also check out the rate of flow that the water's draining. If it's not draining fast enough, you might have a clog in a line or a venting problem. Okay, everything is draining properly, no leaks. Let me show you how the strainer basket works. My wife is loving it. Hello! Now what's awesome about having a strainer basket catching hair and anything else big that goes down the drain? It's that it's so easy to clean out. You can either pull it out and dump it into a trash can, or you can just rinse it right down the drain. You can just disassemble the strainer basket without tools by just unscrewing it and pick out the hair with your fingers, or I'm using a pick to demonstrate. And then you just give it one last rinse and reassemble it. Without a pivot rod to catch anything, hair and debris just go right down the drain. Now here's an alternative to the pop-up drain stopper. Instead of installing your pivot rod into the hole of the plug, you can install it turn, which allows the plug to be pulled out for cleaning. Now if you have little kids or definitely in a commercial setting, you wouldn't want to install it this way. But if you don't have similar concerns, I just wanted to show and demonstrate this option. You can use a cleaning brush to remove the hair and gook that gets caught up on the pivot rod. You just pass the brush on either side of the pivot rod, then flush everything down with water, keeping your drain from clogging up. Now if you have little kids and you choose to install it this way, you're gonna unfortunately find your plugs in their toy box. Same thing with the pop-up drain stopper. Anyways, if you use your sink in a way you don't want to have to stick your hand in dirty water to release it and still want to keep the drain clear, I hope that helps you out. Because it's not needed anymore, some people just leave the pull rod out and just leave it like that, but some people prefer to have it in so no water can get back in that hole. It's just whatever you prefer. So that's it guys, we've been loving our bathroom sink drain stopper with a strainer basket. For my wife and I, it's been a perfect solution. It's nice not having to disassemble the waste pipes and pull out the pivot rod to clear clogs anymore. Sure wish I did this years ago. So hopefully after watching this video, I gave you the knowledge and confidence to DIY your bathroom sink drain changeout or modification. Please remember to hit the thumbs up if you like this video, and be sure to subscribe to watch more home DIY videos just like this one. Put any questions in the comments and maybe I can help you with your project. Click the link on the screen to check out my plumbing repair playlist. You'll find the installation video of the faucet featured in this video, as well as the video showing how to upgrade to a high quality CPVC angle stop / shutoff with a 1/4 turn ball valve used for this faucet. Thanks for watching and keep DIYing. Bye now.